Welcome back to Two Brothers Comics. I'm Dustin. Today, we're going to talk about the Punisher. We're going to talk about the Punisher being called for removal from Marvel Comics. If you're interested to hear our thoughts on the subject, hit the like button while the intro plays and stay tuned. As of late, the Punisher and more so the Punisher skull symbol have become a hot topic amongst the internet, Twitter, Facebook, all across social media. It seems that a lot of people are calling for the removal of the Punisher skull, calling for complete reconstruction of the Punisher or completely removing the Punisher from the Marvel Universe. People on Twitter are constantly lately just completely bashing the use of the Punisher symbol and the Punisher skull. It's even gotten all the way up to Punisher creator Jerry Conway. Jerry Conway chimes in saying the symbol is being used to symbolize oppression used by military personnel, law enforcement, on tactical gear, and on merchandise tied to pro-Second Amendment. Jerry Conway condemns these uses of the Punisher symbol, whether it be on police personnel, on firearms, on tactical gear, pro-Second Amendment t-shirts, anything that is tied to anything like that. But Conway is now calling for a project to take the Punisher symbol back, calling for artists to put it on t-shirts in order to try to hopefully get people in law enforcement, pro-Second Amendment citizens to basically want to stray away from the symbol, basically out of spite. So, you know, that's what's coming out from Conway. Garth Ennis also has his thoughts, saying people wearing this logo are kidding themselves, just like police officers who wore it over the summer, using it as a symbol of fear and to throw their weight around. Now, like I said, people on Twitter are calling for the removal of the Punisher skull, and some want the character completely removed from existence. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but I personally have my own thoughts about it, and I'm going to give those as well. I do have firearms, and I do have t-shirts with the Punisher skull on it. I've seen the Punisher skull used with the American flag depicted on it. I've seen it being used on motorcycle merchandise. I've seen it being used on a lot of things. Would you like to know why I think it's being used on a lot of things? Because it is very cool. I think a lot of people gravitate to the Punisher. They think the Punisher is cool. Not every single Marvel character uses firearms. So people who are who enjoy firearms, who enjoy going to the range, who enjoy firearm competitions, things like that, it is an actual sport that people enjoy, and it's something that can be tied back to a character that maybe they enjoyed as a kid. But here we have, once again, through Twitter and social media, cancel culture deciding what is and is not appropriate for us. And I say us as in everyone. And my question is, at what point are we going to decide that it's not up to the cancel culture to decide what it is that we can watch, what it is that we can read, what it is that we can wear, and decide that, that is our decision. I am allowed to do what I want. If somebody's selling a t-shirt with the Punisher skull on it, I have the ability to purchase it. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is using it legally. I'm sure it is trademarked. If it's not trademarked or registered or copyrighted in any kind of way, then that comes down to Marvel. But obviously, this has been something that's being used on many different things for a long time. And it's never been something that Marvel has looked at, obviously, as a problem. But now that it is being brought to the light in the times we live in, now I guarantee you Marvel is going to probably fold to what these people are asking for, whether they remove Frank Castle from Marvel Comics, whether they cancel the Punisher appearances in future Spider-Man movies that we've been hoping for, taking the show off of Netflix permanently, no more Punisher comic books. Are they going to go and completely, ask comic shops, you need to pull all your comic books that have the Punisher on them? No more selling anything with the Punisher on it on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on eBay. I mean, how far is this really going to go? And some people might say, well, you're probably looking into it a little too far, but really, am I? At this point, it's really a question of how far do we let this go, and how do you feel about this? We're talking about a character that's been around for a long time. The first appearance being ASM 129 is a Grail comic book for comic book collectors. I mean, across the board. It is a book that most people would love to attain if they don't have it, even if they're not a Spider-Man fan, even if they're not necessarily a Punisher fan. It is a comic book that everybody respects the value of and the history behind and wants. So what happens to that now? Are we willing to continue to stand by and allow cancel culture to decide these things for us? There's a lot of things that you could say that about. There's a lot of things that do not line up with my thoughts and beliefs. But I'm not running around and asking for the removal of it, or calling for it to be completely dismantled and pulled away from history, from the comic books and stuff. But yet, Frank Castle is definitely in jeopardy of this happening. The Punisher skull is definitely in jeopardy of this happening. And what is going to happen if they change the Punisher, if they change and take away this Punisher skull from Frank Castle? I mean, what are you doing then? What comes next? Are we going to remove the Stars and Stripes from Captain America because the Stars and Stripes are being used by military, by police, by pro-Second Amendment personnel? Is that the next thing to go? Are we going to reconstruct Captain America next? So this is just my thoughts on it. I'm absolutely appalled that this is even something that we have to talk about. I think we get a lot of people who really don't care or know anything about the medium that it is they're trying to have changed or removed. It's just something that they happen to look at one day and decide, hey, that doesn't line up with how I believe or what I think is okay. So we're going to go after this next, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think about the Punisher skull possibly being terminated, along with the Punisher in general. Is this something that you guys are okay with? And if not, then what are some plans of action that you think can be taken in order to make sure that this does not happen? How do we save Frank Castle, guys? Drop a comment, let us know. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do that. As always, guys, collect your way.